LinkedIn. Oh, okay, I got it. I got the local recording, got the live. Hopefully I did it.
LinkedIn.
All right, we are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Devin's Facebook, and I think Chad, you live too?
I am. Facebook and YouTube.
What? Let's go. All right. Let's let everybody in. Here's the for all the Alabama fans. Woo! Let's go. Who's this? Any Alabama people in the house? Yes.
ACDC, baby.
Let's go. All right, everybody, welcome to the MLL Live Show. Over the moon excited to be here on this beautiful Wednesday. TGIW. Thank God it's Wednesday, right? Thank God it's every day. You know, Devin, I don't know if you know this, but my New Year's resolution, and I hit it every single year. You know what it is?
What's that?
Stay alive.
Oh, man. You're killing it, brother. Well, actually, you're not killing it. That's
55 years I've accomplished my New Year's resolution. As a baby, let's go. Did it.
You know, I was talking to Coach Rick last week or right before the holiday, and he reminded me that we were halfway through the year at 4th of July, right?
I know, man.
And,
Crazy.
you know, the question was, are we halfway done or are we halfway getting started, right?
Ooh, yeah.
We got another 6 months just to get out there and take names and kick you know what, right?
Kick Buttocks.
Woo,
all right. So without further ado, hey, everybody, I want you guys to welcome a friend of mine. We've been friends on Facebook for a decade. I don't know if we've ever actually physically ever met, Chad.
I
don't think so either. I feel like I know you, you know, with all this social media stuff back and forth. And we were talking a little bit in the green room about COVID and everybody's trying to charge $1 million for live streaming. And so you're so gracious enough to come here. You're in a beautiful, well, I'll let you introduce yourself. I don't want to steal the thunder. So go ahead and introduce yourself and let's get started, man. Congratulations on all your success, first and foremost. So amazing.
Yeah, appreciate it. Chad Anderson, work at Canopy Mortgage, run a franchise there, and been doing this about 15 years. So seen some ups and downs, been in call center life and retail life, working with agents, with builders. Yeah, I mean, the call center life is something, but I tell you what, anybody who's done it or been out there, and I know agents don't always like the call centers when it comes to purchase deals, but I learned so much in my career just being in a call center for 2.5 years. It's amazing how much you learn and how much you educate yourself. But yeah, glad to be here, man. Thanks for the invite.
Dude, thank you. So call center. This gives me chills because I literally have a passion for call centers because I feel and you correct me if I'm wrong, do you think that everybody should go through the call center channel as part of the training before they even get in the business?
Yeah, I do. Because I used to make this joke with people on my team. Say, you know, somebody gets a little too big for their britches sometimes, you know, about how cool they are, or, you know, that they're doing a loan or this or that. It's like, you know, the difference between somebody flipping burgers at McDonald's and yourself is a 20-hour course and a 75 on a test. Ooh. Like, and don't commit a felony. Like, if you can do those 3 things, then you're a mortgage person. You're a mortgage loan officer. And so I just look at that and go, that doesn't really tell the experience. It's kind of like any realtor or any LO who says, "Oh, I've been doing this 30 years." That means nothing. It literally means nothing. Like, what have you done? What's your experience? You know, who have you helped, or what situations have you been in? So in the call center, I really looked at it and said, okay, retail loan officers, it's not their fault. They only get so many at bats per month. Like, I don't know what the average is, but let's just say you pull 15 credit reports in a month and 7 of those turn into deals and 5 of them fund or something like that, whatever the numbers are. Call center people are pulling 15 credits before lunch on a Monday.
Okay.
And so it's so many at bats and so many scenarios and so many different stories and, you know, things that you're going through guideline wise and rebuttal wise and sales wise. Like, to me, it should be, like you said, a requirement. I think you'd be so much more successful if you did do call center and did it for 6 months or a year just to get your feet wet.
Well, I think we should add one thing to the call centers: selling Kirby vacuum cleaners.
There you go.
Knocking on doors,
Yeah.
getting inside people's homes, and then the call center. So start with the call center, set your appointments, and then go to the appointments to get in the house.
Or Scotty, like you and I, man, selling cars, right?
Telling you, man.
Bell to bell, 9 to 9 on the pavement,
so
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's fun. Chad, and I could go so many directions here, but I want to stay focused. So knowing what you know now, and you're talking to a loan officer closing 5 loans a month, want to get to 10 loans a month, want to get to that 40 million mark, like you're doing. What would you share with them, or what would you do first if I was to drop you in a different city? I love asking this question. Drop you in a different city, like, hey, you got to start over, Chad, from scratch. No one.
People don't like doing the fundamentals, and they're the least sexy thing to do, right? Like the cool thing to do is go get 10,000 views on your Instagram reel. That's the cool thing. The non-sexy thing is to literally go to networking events and awkwardly have to walk up to people and shake hands and introduce yourself, and go to open houses and put yourself out there and come up with some different things and niches that you're good at, and come up with some ways to brand yourself and do things to where people remember you. And it's just not fun. It's not easy. It takes work. It takes a grind. It takes some mental fortitude too, because you've got to be okay with, if you got dropped off in a new market and had no loans, you've got to be okay with sucking for like 6 months. And understanding, like you go get a new agent today. That doesn't mean you get a deal next week. It just means you got a new agent. So, those are the things I say is just fundamentals. Nobody wants to do them, but they pay off the most. It's just not as cool as the guys and girls who have 100,000 TikTok followers and do all the funny videos.
I know people that have 100,000 TikTok followers. They don't close any loans, so it's definitely not where the money's at. Yeah,
realtors too. I know agents who have that many, and you look at their production, and they've done like 4 loans in 12 months or 4 deals.
Yeah. So why is it so hard? Why is it so hard, Chad, to do the basics? Like I coach, teach, preach. We all coach, teach. We all talk about it. We go back to the basics. One common denominator of every speaker over the last 5 months, 6 months has been, I need to go back to the basics. But is it just because it's so boring, or we love the fame from the doing all the other stuff, or we're tied to webinars? What do you think it is?
It's boring for sure. It's not cool. It's not popular. I coach baseball with my son. Actually, 2 of my sons play baseball, and that's one of the things. Like the oldest one's 9, and at that age, they're watching major leaguers, right? They want to hit the home runs. They want to make the diving play. They want to do all the cool things because that's what makes the crowd react. But they then botch a ground ball between their legs, and they don't run through first base, or they swing at something over their head because they didn't do enough batting practice. It's all those little things that aren't fun. But then not doing those little things can make you out to look pretty bad in front of a lot of people. So that's really it for me. And we're also all Americans, right? And so we want instant gratification. We want the result, not the work. And that drives me nuts, but it is what it is.
Amen. Let's talk about this book, man. Like, tell me what was the inspiration behind your book? I'm going to go find it on, what's the name of the book?
The most direct sales book you've ever read.
Yes. Tell me what was tell me what about that.
I don't know. I think a lot of times in business, not just real estate or mortgage, I think in business in general, sometimes there's a lot of fluff, or, people prop themselves up, or they say things, or, they say, oh, if you do this, you'll get this, and whatever. And everybody's always looking for the secret sauce. Like when I posted last month or a few weeks ago about my June production, it actually took a little bit to do that because I'm, believe it or not, more introverted than you would think. So I don't like to put those numbers out there, but I keep getting told by people you have to, because people want to work with other people who are successful. So I put them out there, and I got 2 text messages within 3 minutes of that going up. And they were congratulatory, But then they were like, what are you doing? Are you buying leads? Are you doing this? Are you buying Zillow? Are you paying for this? Are you like they thought there was a trick. And but what they don't see is that I've been doing it 15 years, that I've had slow months, that I've had to answer the phone at 9:30 at night, or I've had to work with a customer for 6 months to then lose them at the end and then learn from that mistake. And how do I not let that happen on the next deal? Like you're just stacking and storing knowledge and experience in your brain. And an old guy I used to work with, I don't mean to call him old. He's not old. Just previous guy.
A long time ago.
Yeah, he was an executive, still is. And he made a comment one time in a class, and he's like, you don't just go learn mortgages. Like you can't just sit down and read a book. The FHA book is what, like 1,700 pages long. Like you don't just sit down and start reading and become the mortgage expert. It's all about screwing up, messing up, because you're going to. Everybody's going to. I still do. But it's how do you fix it? How do you pivot? How do you either own it or problem solve it? All those things, So it's just one of those deals.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So tell me what's your team like. Talk to us. And if anybody has any questions on the internet of any social site, you can ask a question. I can pop it right up on the screen. If anybody is listening here, there's a bunch of us here. If anybody has a question for Chad, feel free to ask. But yeah, what is your, a lot of people ask this question, what does your team look like and how does that all work? And like, where are you at with like, do you take the application all the way through or like, how does that look?
Yeah. So right now, the way I've set it up is I've got 3 people who work with me. So from a sales side and an application side, I always take the first phone call. And do some sort of intro call. And 1, it makes me human. 2, it gives me an idea. You can just tell a lot of times talking to people, is this their first time? Are they scared to death? Have they done this multiple times? Are they arrogant? Are they appreciative? Like you find out a lot in the first 8-9 minutes of talking to somebody. So I do that. I always push them to my website. You can listen to whatever story you want to listen to. Everybody's got a sob story as to why it's not a perfect scenario. And I get it, but nothing truly matters, right? It's whatever the application and credit report say. That's what matters. And so I try to just get everybody there. I do a soft pull. Our system is set up to where when they do the application, the system pulls credit for them while they're in there. But I have defaulted it to where it pulls soft only. And customers love that because we all know a hard pull really isn't going to mess you up like a lot of the mainstream may make you believe. But I do the soft pull for 2 reasons. 1, it's just a nice little selling tool. And 2, it gives us the chance to avoid the trigger leads for a little while. So it's 2-part. Once they do that, I have an assistant who jumps in and he reviews the application and sends me the high points. Like, hey, here's what the soft pull score was. Here's what income is listed as. If they uploaded any docs, here's what they said they have in assets, things like that. That gives me a foundation to then set up the follow-up call and go over everything. And then once I do that, get them sold or, on board with our team, explain the steps, introduce them to, anybody that's going to be involved, tell them save the phone number, save the email so that you don't think it's spam. And then we just start collecting docs at that point, man. We get it into underwriting. We do TBD underwrites. So contract or not, we're getting you approved up front. And then once it's there, processor grabs it once it comes out and runs with it to the finish line. So
love it.
That's really it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just lay it out, little conveyor belt and go from there.
Little KISS method. Keep it simple. Yeah.
Exactly.
KISS method. Cool. What, if you had to start over on marketing, where do you feel you getting the most from in as far as your marketing? Is it email marketing, social media marketing, phone calls, text messages? Where's the brunt of your business coming from?
It's all, honestly, it's all. One thing I wish, especially because I have a background in broadcasting, I used to be in sports broadcasting, and I blew it and missed the boat that I didn't do YouTube, podcasting.
Wait.
I'm
It's
just,
not
I'm
too
just
late.
saying,
It's not
it's
too
not
late.
too late. No, I
too
do
late.
it. I'm just saying I didn't really start until 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there. I don't even know exactly, but I could have done this back in 2011 when it was still in the infant stages, because I was already broadcasting. Like, it was just so second nature. So I kick myself for that. So that is a great lesson to anyone. Like, 5 years from now, you're going to wish you had started doing this at that point. So I would say just do it. Turn the camera on, just go. But that's one big thing. And then from the business and where it comes from, I really get it from a lot of places. Facebook, people tell me all the time that they see my stuff and that they follow. And I've gotten just DMs of, hey, I want to do a HELOC. Hey, I sent your name to my insurance guy to do a refi. Hey, my neighbor's purchasing, saw that you had this program. So I do get those. I've really worked hard over the last couple of years building up. I don't know SEO stuff. I'm not smart there, but I have, I don't know. I admit it, but I've built up my Google reviews. I'm at 103 5-star reviews now.
Wow. Good for you, man.
So that does help, because Google will push that. So that helps.
Yeah, good.
I do some paid advertising, for boosting things like that. I've gotten a few through the YouTube channel. So
wow, okay.
It's really been sprinkled around. There's not like one source, because if there was like one, oh, hey, this is working, I would go all in.
Gotcha.
But
so it's everything.
It's been a nice broad scope so far.
Any special niche like divorce lending or CPAs, financial planners, anything like that? You do anything like that?
Yeah, I reach out and tap into it. It is a nice niche. My CPA, he refers people over here and there. And then I've got one divorce attorney, and I'm actually doing a loan for her right now. So, doing her loan, and then keep her happy. Don't screw that one up. Then they're happy to do stuff. Yeah.
Give that one away. Give that one away. Just
right. So, certain ones you really don't want to screw up. Like, you don't want to screw up any, but there's some that you really don't want to. There's one that's an ex FBI agent that I'm working with, and so it's like, you definitely don't want to screw that one up. But no, there's a place for those, and it's a nice little add-on, supplement your core business. But CPAs, and those also with HELOCs have been contractors, because a lot of people want to do a swimming pool or a detached building or an addition or a remodel, and they need the money. And sometimes they'll ask their contractor, well, what's it going to cost? What's the budget? Okay, I got to figure out the mortgage and then, or get the funds. And so instead of like renovation loans or things like that, then we can just say, hey, let's go with a HELOC. And so the contractors referring for HELOCs has been pretty helpful.
Got it. Tim Davis is in the house. Chad's a baller shot caller, 20-inch rims. 20-inch blades or it's rims on the Impala. That's a good song, by the way.
I think it's
blades. Tim.
I think it's blades.
Blades, yeah.
I paid
blades on the Impala. Yeah, I think so.
I paid him for that.
You paid him. Todd's like, it's blades. I'm like, all right. Awesome. So what's next for you, man? Like what is your short-term, long-term, like, what are you doing to, like, obviously you're doing the right things. You're staying ahead of the market. You're crushing the market. You're growing in a market where a lot of people are going backwards or trying to figure it out. What's on the agenda for you?
So I'm not the guy that's trying to build up a massive team and do 500 million in a year or anything crazy like that. I enjoy my life and the kids and coaching baseball and traveling and playing golf and doing some of those things. So I want to figure out the balance, but I used to produce at a high level, and then I managed for quite a while and had some really successful teams, and then got back into full-time producing the last couple of years. And so I would say, I've set goals for myself on just, hey, how can I get into really that 75 to 100 million bucket, and again, not expand it to where we're some crazy operation doing 1,000 units or anything. Just, hey, how can we help some other people, with jobs and support and have a good life and good flexibility, and then, have a good living for myself, but also find that balance to where I can still do the dad things that I want to do, or do
Awesome.
the sports things that I want to do, and travel and so forth.
So you're not far from that. So what do you think, going from 40 to 75 to 100, what would you tell somebody, what are you doing to go from the 40 to 75, 100? And it's probably just a small tweak. And I can give you my idea. Go back to broadcasting, man, and be that person that's like that, you are, and just let more people know who you are and what you do for a living. That would be my suggestion, because that's what you love. You had a passion for it, right?
I do. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I used to do play-by-play for baseball, basketball, football, and I loved calling games. Like, it was so much fun. The pay sucks unless you're at the major level, but but it was so much fun. Had a blast with it. I mean, really, at this point, where I have struggled in the past is not letting go. Have too much of a control freak in me, and so not letting go. And so I think really to get the next iteration of the journey is to figure out, like, mentally, how to give the team, more, whatever you want to call it, just more ability to handle everything and continue to work the pipeline.
Gotcha.
I've just got to get out more. I've got to go to more events and get in front of more people, because at this point we're doing a good job. We're closing loans. We've got the reputation, the experience. So now it's almost back to fundamentals. Like, we built it up. And now if you want to get more, it's more fundamental work. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. What would you like? There's a lot of people in that 8 to 10. I mean, I see a lot of people in that 8 to 10 mark, 6 to 8 to 10 million. And maybe it's just I mean, we talked about it yesterday. Wade brought up the 4 Ds: do, delegate, defer, and delete. And delegate's one of the biggest ones, I feel. So I think people, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think people get to a certain level and like, okay, that's the comfort zone. If I do any more, I'm not going to see my kids or be able to coach my kids in baseball and do all the things. Is it the delegation part and the comfort zone, or is it what do you think would help somebody at that 6, 8, 10 mark? Because we were all there. We all started at 0, but
yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Everybody's got a different average loan size. I don't know if this is, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but if you're doing 8 million in a year, right, that's 667,000 a month. So that's 2
and he's
loans.
a math wizard, by the way. So that's pretty good.
You do enough fractions, right? It's 2 loans a month. So what could possibly be scaring you that another 2 loans would take away from your life? Like, if you break it down to 4 loans a month, that's literally 1 loan a week. You're telling me that in 40 hours a week, you can't have the capacity of 1 loan? Like, that's mind boggling. If somebody said that to me, like, I just don't understand that or comprehend that. And so so to me, it's just work. It just goes back to, what are you doing every day? And I think if you really deep dive, I'm bad about this too. I want to expand. And so I'm sitting here going, all right, well, what could I do? One thing I fail at every day is time blocking. I suck so bad at time blocking. I wish I was better. I'm trying to get better, but I think that would be a big help for a lot of people.
Talk to me about that. Talk to me about, like, when you say I suck at it, what does that mean? Like talk to me about that.
It means I have good intentions of doing it, and then I'll set up some of my day. But then I will end up getting distracted or put something at a higher priority over what's on the calendar. And then I default to that. And then I lose track and the whole calendar's gone for the day.
Gotcha.
So that goes back though to having the support system in the team and trying to get them, because if you're constantly just playing whack-a-mole and, something's on my plate, I want it off my plate as soon as possible, then you're never really going to, be able to prioritize and do things correctly. So I struggle with this. That's on me just as much. So
is it that do you use a calendar? Are you a calendar person? Put everything in the calendar is what you intend to do, intentional? Okay.
Yeah.
is what you're like, and this is the open question, right? Open conversation. So is it what you're putting on the calendar not as important as it should be?
Yeah, possibly.
I'm just curious, like, I mean, I have the same issue, man. So
yeah,
I'll put something on there, go, yeah, I'll even book appointments with certain things and go, but this is stupid. Why am I doing this? Right.
Well, here's a good example about the fundamentals not being fun, because I'm guilty of it too. It's not like I'm on this high horse. I screw up so much all day, but the fundamentals, like, nobody likes to cold call realtors. That is so awful and it's cringy. And I was in a call center for 3 years and I still hate it. And that's what we did, was cold call, or leads would come in, or we have to cold call out. And nobody wants to do it. But again, it's just part of it. So if you go in, and it's like, I look sometimes, where I'm guilty is I'll look for excuses. Like, okay, well, I told myself from 9 to 10, I was going to follow up with these, 5 agents and set small numbers so that it feels attainable. And then 2 emails come through and you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to answer these emails instead of make the 5 phone calls. Gotcha. So where I get mad at myself is, and the more business is at your fingertips, you're just mentally choosing to still do some of these other things that aren't as, revenue generating. So, so it's a struggle, it's a mental struggle, even for myself.
I would say, Chad, that, man, you're just from the heart, you're an awesome person, and you're changing so many lives on a daily basis.
No,
and no, I mean, you already are. So I think that, like, I think if you change the self-talk to, I'm amazing at what I do, I get to change lives, I get to call agents, or I get to talk with the agents that I work with. I mean, you're already moving and shaking. I think it's that one little small self-talk that you tell yourself you are that person, regardless of the outcome, and work with the people that you want to work with, not have to work with. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting.
Yeah.
That
part's true. I do that. Yeah. I used to not. 10 years ago, I would work with anybody. Today, yes, I've fired clients and agents, but that's not to be like I'm better than you. That's just, hey, we didn't match, and I don't want to do this, it's not going to work. So that is you,
man. Like, man, right. I just see you. I see myself waking up in 30 days and seeing you have this show where you are calling out the mortgage play, some way, shape, or form, all the different plays of each one of your files. And how cool!
All right, I'll tell you one idea that I have from a content perspective that I don't know if I'm going to use yet. It's on my list of things I want to do, but trying to tie in broadcasting and sports. So we have kicked the idea around of doing mortgage press conferences. So basically, just like a coach would do a press conference after a game, or a player, where we would come in and I would do a press conference as a loan officer, maybe as a realtor, maybe as a buyer,
with your realtor,
do multiple press conferences, and basically jab at the industry, like, oh, it was late in the game, and then, here we are, we're getting ready to close in the fourth quarter, and then they throw me a bank statement that's got 10 cash deposits on it. So
non-sufficient funds,
right? Yeah, like all of a sudden they owned 8 properties they didn't tell me about. Like, we're kind of kicking that around, and how can we
I'd do it, man. I hope you
educate and do humor with it at the same time. So that's what we're working on.
Dude, I love that. I love. I think you really should, because that would give you so much exposure, like, bring the human back into the equation instead of AI stuff. Right. But people would see what the challenges are. You could have solutions for what not to do. There's so many cool things you could do, man. You'd be a master at that. You already know it. So tie in sports, man.
Yeah. So that's one of the things we're looking at. Yeah, is a press conference.
Dude, so you gonna do it?
It's the plan.
You're live, thousands of people. Are you gonna do it?
It's the plan.
Take the plunge, man. Do it. Just do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I want to. Yeah.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Any questions for Chad? We got it, man. He's kicking butt, taking names. He's got a lot of doing a lot of different things. He's social. He's getting business from all over the place. Any questions? Nike, just do it. There you go, Donald. Excellent. Chad, any final, I know we're at the bottom of the hour. Any final words for us, man, for anybody out there listening and just like kind of maybe having that little, man, is this for me? Is it not for me? And I know we've all been there. We all have those days, months, weeks, whatever. Any final words for the crew?
I mean, I would say one thing I have to remind myself, and it's hard because these days can be parabolic, right? Like you can have an amazing day and feel like you've broken through. And then the next day you're like looking up bankruptcy attorneys. I mean, it's like crazy how, you can lose thousands of dollars in a single day as a loan officer. You can also make thousands in a single day, just like a realtor can. So I would say my biggest thing, it's fun to have like the jabs and the negative and the market and, make all the little innuendos and funnies and memes and stuff, but just don't let that become reality and try to surround yourself or only talk to people who are producing or are trying or are, somewhat staying positive. Because the truth is the market isn't easy, but the other truth is there is business out there. Yeah. And so I think if you just constantly talk to people who are griping about it and talking about the market and the rates versus what you told me earlier, flipping the script and saying something, like, hey, we get to help a family today, or hey, we get to give them a 6.5 rate that wasn't available 45 years ago. However you want to spin it. But I think that helps a lot of people's mentality. If anything, will keep you going a little bit better.
We do have a question.
Yeah, we do have a question. Yeah. Go ahead, Devin.
Carla says about contractors, how do you break into that market, Chad?
I just call them. I mean, just call them.
Novel concept.
Literally, think about it this way. Like again, this is all about the approach, right? So if you call up a contractor and you're like, hey, I'm just wondering if you have any clients, that I could talk to about a HELOC or whatever, then they feel like you need something from them. Yep. But if you called up contractors, like let's just use swimming pools because that's a big one in Nashville. So let's just say swimming pools, and those should be huge since COVID too. Everybody's putting a pool in since COVID. You call up pool companies or contractors or whatever, and you just say, hey, I've got this new mortgage product where I can take care of all your people's financing and I can have it funded in 5 days. And you don't even have to worry about whether or not they're going to have the money. And if you just like kind of flip it and talk about how you're going to help them, not, hey, can you give me some deals? More like, hey, I wanted to offer this to you because I'm guessing you probably run into people who need money. And we've got this program and this solution already figured out where I can get them money within a week. It's just all about presentation.
Very cool. Love it. All right, Chad, man, sincerely appreciate you more than you know. Congratulations on all your success, man. You're a tweak away from a small tweak away from that 7,500. I know you are. I know you. I know you can do it. So be you, do you, man. The right people come in, the wrong people go away, and that'll make for a beautiful life. Congrats on coaching your kids. I applaud you for that. So killer stuff. Hey, today on Fresh Agent Marketing for all the MLOlive.com members, I'm doing the three different ways to generate traffic. It's going to be epic. So we got a good crew coming in at 12 Eastern. So if you're not part of MLO Live, grab your 14-day trial, MLOlive.com. And we're doing a weekly class for your real estate agents so that you as a loan officer have something of value to give back to a community that's given so much to all of us. And it's training on up-to-date tool system strategies, things that today is about generating traffic with what you already have, who you already know, using 3 different methods. So excited to share that. Chad, thank you again so much. Appreciate you. Welcome back anytime, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Everybody have a great day.